arrest? Only INEC? So one, they have saddled the commission with the responsibility for which we have no capacity to do, arrests. Lawyers here will bear me out that the second stage to successful prosecution is successful investigation. We have no capacity to conduct successful investigation, but yet the law says INEC shall prosecute. And the same law also says that offenders shall be prosecuted in the stage where the cause of action has arisen. And in some cases, the attorneys general and commissioners of justice in those states will enter null prosecute. And therefore, they let the violators off the hook. What do we do? Yes, we have history of successful prosecution. We worked with the police to prosecute electoral offenders in 2016 in Minjibri in Kano. Over 40 of them were successfully prosecuted. But what I'm unsure about is whether any one of them spent a year in jail. Because the court said, okay, this term of imprisonment, or you pay an X amount. And I'm sure those who sponsored them went and paid the amount and let them off the hook. And that will encourage them to go and do it again. Yes, we have had the successful prosecution of a big violator in Akwa Ibom State not long ago. The matter has gone to the Court of Appeal. But quite often, it's very difficult to prosecute given the circumstances. So if there is a solution to the problem, or there isn't, there is a solution to the problem. And this solution is not my original idea. In 2008, 2009, the federal government of Nigeria set up the Justice Mohammed Uwais Committee on Electoral Reform. What did Mohammed Uwais recommend? He recommended the establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. Why hasn't the government or this country established one? 2011, there was a big post-election violence. Government set up the Lemu Committee. The Lemu Committee recommended the establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. Why hasn't one been established? 2017, another political reform committee was set up under the leadership of the former Senate President Ken Namani. Then Namani report recommended the establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. Why hasn't one been established? However, there is a ray of hope now. Some members of the National Assembly in both House and the Senate have sponsored individual bills for the establishment of the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. And we appeared before the two houses during public hearing on the bill. And I've consistently said that INEC fully supports the establishment of the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. Not only is the problem that we can't arrest successfully, we can't investigate, and therefore we can't prosecute, but in some cases, some of the electoral offenders may be officials of the commission, whether regular officials or ad hoc officials. The other staff are officials of the commission during elections. It becomes very difficult for INEC to even prosecute itself. So establish the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal, to which all violators of the Electoral Act will be subjected, whether they are INEC regular or ad hoc officials or not. So but my position personally, and that's the position of the Commission as well, is that we fully support the establishment of the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal. Remove that responsibility from INEC. Place it in a tribunal which should be independent and impartial, that should prosecute offenders. But I absolutely agree with the former IG. Any country which does not penalize offenders is doomed. We must penalize offenders and violators of our laws. Otherwise, we'll keep encouraging impunity and transgression. On the PVC collection, for several years now, the Commission has been working on the idea of collection of PVCs and not distribution of PVCs. And the two are different. If the Commission decides to distribute today, by the end of this month, there will be no PVCs left in INEC offices. But in all probability, all of them will be in the wrong hands. Because people will come and say, oh, I know this person is my brother, is my relation, we worship in the same place, or we are members of the same community, I'm his or her traditional ruler, and what have you. And they will collect the cards on their behalf, and the cards will all end up in the wrong hands. So we said, no, let us de-emphasize distribution, and rather emphasize collection. The onus is on the person who has taken the trouble to register to also go and collect the card. As a result of which you have so many cards uncollected. But if we were to say, oh, communities can collect on behalf of their members, all the cards will disappear by the end of this month. There will be no card in any INEC office, but they will all end up in the wrong hands. So, but what have we done of late on the collection of these PVCs? For new registrants, we have been collecting the kind of information that the Commission couldn't have collected previously, because virtually all the new registrants have telephone numbers. Virtually all of them have email addresses. We have created a portal, and individuals can track the availability of their cards. And we have started a pilot in the FCT, where people can be contacted to collect their cards. And it appears so far in the FCT to be working, but our idea is to escalate it beyond the FCT to other parts of the country. But listen to this. In one of the states of the Federation, I won't mention the state, but you all know where, we started calling individuals whose cards were ready to come and collect them. They called about 7 of them. And as if they had a meeting before, they said, no, they had no time to go and collect the cards, that INEC shall deliver the cards to their homes. Now, the truth of the matter is that we need to be more imaginative in the way we approach the collection of cards. And that's why we also need the support of everyone, the media, the civil society organizations. The pilot in the FCT involved the civil society organizations. Otherwise, citizens will keep complaining. I'm not blaming citizens, for instance, for not coming to collect the cards until the 11th hour, because that one is also an issue. So it's an engagement issue that we need to continuously engage. But with the kind of information we have available, it is possible for us to contact the individuals for the collection of their cards. Related to that is millions of Nigerians registered during the last CVR. When are they going to collect their cards? When will the cards be available? We have consistently said so that the cards will be available by early November. So far, we have printed over 6 million cards. But we want to make these cards available en bloc for all those who have registered. Otherwise, if you now announce and say we have 6 million cards, people should go and collect their cards. And it's for those who registered between this period and that period. Others who registered after that period will also go and look for their cards. And if the cards are not available, they will not say, oh, INEC told us that our cards are not available. They will say, we have been disenfranchised by INEC. I registered, my friend also registered, my friend has his card, I don't have my own card. So we want to print all the cards and make the cards available for collection at the same time, sometime in November. But this time around, we are so committed to ensure that citizens have a more pleasant experience in collecting the cards rather than go through the kind of hassle they went through in the past to collect the cards. We are committed to that, and then at the appropriate time, I hope GOCOP, as part of corporate social responsibility,